Walk me through
Um,
this. Walk me through this OPG. You've been playing for a long time. Holy moly, season
yeah,
3.
I started playing in season 2.
Wow.
I reached level 30, 30 in season 3. Um, so I reached gold in season 4 and platinum in season 5. So I've been platinum for 5 years now. Um, I'm kind of a Azir one trick.
hmm
I started playing Azir in season 5, at the end of season 5, which I think that season 5 is my peak level. I was at my best.
Okay.
Um, I was in high school at the time, so I had more time to play.
Yeah.
The 4 following seasons, like season 6, 7, 8, and 9, I played a bit less tryhard.
Hmm.
I mean, I was less focused. And then this season, I came across your channel in the beginning of the year, and it kind of motivated me
Hmm.
to try to learn the game again, to try to get better.
Yeah. Cool.
S- Okay, so my champion pool is basically Azir.
Okay. You're only a
Um,
bit of an Azir player. Yep.
I like playing other champions, but every time I actually want to try to play more champions. But every time I play another one, um, I mean I'm not able to play a champion too many times in a row,
Hmm.
except Azir.
Okay, so you basically get bored. You're not interested in any other champion.
I like playing them, but I'm not. I can't play them too much.
Okay, that's fine. So all right. So I noticed that last season you actually didn't have many games. Is this because you were focused university or working or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. I'm a student right now, and I will graduate at the end of the summer.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. So you're basically trying to relearn the game this season because you didn't really get to play it too much in season 8 and season 9. Oh, yeah, season 8 was not too bad, but season 9 you really took a dip there. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your goals out of this coaching session out of interest?
Um, so I feel like um, I'm not really. I don't really know where my big mistake, where I do big mistakes in my games. I don't know what my big weaknesses are.
Hmm.
So I'd like to see to have an external point of view to try to pinpoint what exactly I am doing wrong.
Okay. So it's less of a rank. You're not really aiming for a rank. You're kind of you just want to
Um,
kind of know
I,
more about your gameplay.
yeah, I want to get better at the game.
Yeah. Okay.
The rank is like a byproduct.
That's a good mindset to have. Okay. So well, you just said there you're kind of not sure what is going wrong with your gameplay. Is this okay? Has this limited you from? Because usually when I go into these sessions, a lot of people have already been focusing on one element of their gameplay, or they have an idea about what some of their weaknesses are. Do you have a rough idea about what your weakness could be, or some of your weaknesses could be, or are you really just super confused and you don't actually know where you're going wrong?
A bit of both.
Okay.
So I tried to. I don't think that my laning is too bad. I don't think it's good either, but I don't. Um, I don't usually make very bad lanes. Uh,
Okay. That's fine. If you don't know,
but
that's completely fine. I don't want you to to make something up. If you don't know where you're
Okay.
going wrong, that's completely fine. Like there's people that also don't know where they're going wrong, and this is exactly what I was looking for in my coaching clients. I was looking for people like you who aren't really sure what's going wrong. So that's completely fine, man. Don't stress too much there.
Okay.
Um, all right. Well, again, I'll keep an open mind, and it'll be interesting. Given you have a lot of games you played Azir for a long time, it'll be really interesting to see your level of play. And given that you have been platinum for quite a long time, I'm really interested to kind of see what's going wrong here. So there has to be something going wrong here because you've actually been playing the game at a similar amount of time to me. I actually got gold. I got gold season two. So we're only around 2 seasons apart. So we're probably a similar age. I'm guessing you're like 20, 23 or something like that.
I'm 22.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're very similar age. Cool. Yeah, I'm really interested in this one then. So which game is it that we're covering here? Just so I can look at is it this one here?
Yeah.
This one? Okay. I just want to look at the runes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you can see in these games that I took lethal tempo.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of I was trying something. I usually take Hail of Blades, like in your guide, actually.
Yeah.
But I noticed that I felt like I was a bit with Azir. I feel like when you're behind, it's very hard to be useful because you need your items to do some damage and survive and etc. So I wanted to try to get the mana flow band run to in order to get the Nashor's first item and not buy a second Durant ring, double
Yeah.
Durant. This did not really work out.
Okay. Because yeah, in my guide I talk about the double Dorans, right?
Yeah, yeah, it really helps in the laning because you don't have to worry much about mana.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So
Um.
my idea with mana flow was to have some more mana and not do to not buy the double Torrent, but you still need presence of mind. So I took precision and sorcery. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't take Hail of Blades to put pressure if you don't have presence of mind. I
Yeah.
find it really difficult.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the rune page that you is it this one here that the one that you generally run
Yeah.
most of the time? This is the Halo Blade. Oh, you like cheap shot for the extra damage.
Uh,
Uh,
Cheat shot or taste of blood.
yeah.
Depends.
And then here, presence of mind and you don't like legend alacrity.
Uh, it depends. Also, I take tenacity when they have a lot of CC, or alacrity when they are tanky,
Okay.
uh, and coup de grâce when I can abuse the enemy.
Okay. Interesting. So the way I like to view lethal tempo is lethal tempo isn't it's generally very good against high wave clear laners. I think it could work quite well against Vel'Koz. But you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to get as much damage on Vel'Koz, but you will be able to keep pushing Vel'Koz in and potentially make the lane quite hard for Vel'Koz, so that
Okay.
Vel'Koz can't really because Vel'Koz is not a good champion when getting pushed in, and that's going to be the only way you survive this lane. And the way I look at it as well, we'll get into the champs later on, but yeah, that's the way I interpret lethal tempo. I don't really see lethal tempo as a very aggressive rune. I actually
No.
think that this is potentially a game, okay, versus a lot of immobile mages. You can actually go Comet. Comet is a
Yeah.
viable option against a lot of these ones as well. And if you were to go the Ludens route, this would be the sort of matchup you would do it. Have you
Yeah.
experimented too much with that?
Uh, I dislike Ludens because I really feel like when you don't have any attack speed with Azir,
Mm.
it feels really bad. I dislike it.
Yeah, I'm like you. Again, the way Ludens is, it's very much like Q poke. It's very revolve. It's not about sustained damage and attack speed. It's about that Q
Yeah.
poke. I'm actually not a fan either. I personally like the lethal tempo and into Nash's and or Halo Blade sort of thing with the attack speed, because it feels like as well you scale is so much better. That's just the way I like it as well. So overall not too bad. We'll see. I like that you're testing different room pages. We'll go into it. And the other thing I want you to think about, the other thing with double Dorans, it's not just the mana, it's the durability.
Yeah.
Double Dorans is very. I found personally that double Dorans is nice when your first item doesn't give you any durability. So champions that build first item proto belt, I think that this is bad because you want to get your proto belt as soon as possible, and the durability doesn't mean anything because you get durability from Kindle Gem within proto belt anyway. But
Yeah.
if you're not getting any durability from your first item, then double Dorans is always a viable option if you want to play somewhat aggressive in the early game, but you still don't want to be going corrupting pot because um, the way it works is if you are heavy trading HP as well, then corrupting pot is always good. But because you're not able to spec into inspiration because you really need the sorcery and precision tree, time warp tonic with corrupting pot without time warp tonic kind of feels weird. And on top of that, Azir is a champion that because you're always pushing, you're not really going to be taking too much damage, and most of the time you're just going to be you just need it for the HP and the mana. So that's why Doran's ring is just a little bit better as well than corrupting pot and things like that. So overall, I like that you're experimenting with the no Dorans, this no second Dorans, and like
Yeah.
experimenting with the mana flow. It's fine to test things like that, but yeah, overall not too bad. All right, we'll just take a look at the VOD. This will be an interesting one. I'm really interested. And also, what I want you to do in this session is, I want you to kind of run me through what you were thinking within this game, and what was going through your mind. And lastly, before we get into the gameplay, just to give a bit of background information in terms of the way I want to do this session. What I've
Okay.
found from the previous coaching clients in Platinum is that generally they have a pretty good understanding of their champion and how to take good trades on their champion. So they know how to what wave state they need to have to take good trades with their champion. They know how to do the combos and everything quite well. They know their champion's identity. But what I found with Platinum, that's when you're starting to now start to focus on more of the elements outside of only trading. This is where I start to
Yeah.
take into account a little bit more about warding and jungle tracking a little bit more. I start to take into account a bit of side lane awareness. What's your assessment of the game? Identifying the winning side of the map. Usage of pings and camera movement. I'm starting to look at all the little pieces of information around translating leads because I'm assuming that you are able to get leads. I might be wrong. We'll see. And
Yeah.
like you said,
Actually, in my during the last weeks, I focused on different things. So first, I noticed that I could abuse the enemy laner because people don't know how to trade correctly. So I focused a lot on that. But then I noticed that I had no idea what was going on the map.
mm,
So right now in this game as well, I try to focus to take information about my jungler, the enemy jungler,
mm,
the side lanes, but it decreased my trading and
right.
laning effectiveness.
Okay. Well, that's something we can take a look at as well. That's good. It's good that you're identifying that. So, what are you thinking heading into a game like this, Paul?
Okay, so I have teleport and Vel'Koz hasn't. So I can try to make a good recall to abuse that in the early game. The junglers, so it's Nocturne against Amumu. I think Amumu will. I'm not sure, but I think he can do both full clear or 3 camps. Like maybe he can do a right side full clear, the
Mm-hmm.
3 right side camps. Um, I'm not really sure, but my idea with these 2v2 is that we lose the 2v2, but Nocturne wins the 1v1. So
Hmm.
I don't really want us to interfere in that, in the skirmishes.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but I really dislike early skirmishes with Azir because you can have a great lane pressure, but going in a skirmish will make you use your mana for an external fight, and then your lane tempo or whatever you can call it is kind of lost.
Yeah.
It's really hard to come back in the lane and put pressure again because you lost some mana, and then you need to recall or
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, for sure. Um, I somewhat agree. I think that this is a lane where you want to isolate the 1v1 purely because Nocturne can't really gank Vel'Koz pre-6. And 2v2, I mean, I think it's okay if you. The way I see it is if you're the one who's engaging the fight first, it's good. But if they're the
yeah,
one engaging the fight first, then you lose 2v2. So it's a very. I think either way, you can win 2v2. It just really depend on who starts the fight and that sort of thing. The other thing I'm also looking at this game is that whenever I'm versing some form of immobile mage, I really like to remind myself that at level 6, I have a lot of threat. So as soon as
yeah,
this guy gets 6, I have 6. Like I have a lot of threat on this guy as long as I use my ultimate properly. That's something I'm also thinking about because these people, I mean, they're not going to have too much mobility, so I can definitely look
yeah.
to set up a kill at that point in time after my first base.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the game, but Nocturne really abused the Vel'Koz correctly.
Okay, cool. We'll get into it. Let's get into the laning phase here. Okay, looks like Amumu's looking toward that potentially. Sometimes it's good. What I like to do. This is a small thing. Sometimes I do like to actually sit in there just so I can know if they warded or not. I can give my
Yeah,
jungler information. It's not a big thing, but it's just something that I've recently been doing because I've noticed a lot of junglers actually ward there early and then they recall for sweeper. And if I tell my
yeah,
jungler that it's warded there, just give them a little bit of information, but nothing too
yeah.
big here. Cool.
So with the lane wave management, I wanted to keep the. I actually tried to. I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do, but I wanted to give myself a goal with the laning and actually try to do exactly this with the wave in order to train myself to manage correctly. So I wanted at the beginning to keep the wave in the middle and try to slow push um, the starting the second, so the third will crash under his turret. That was my goal for the beginning.
Okay, that was your goal. Um, I just don't know if I agree with this strategy because it's hard to slow build into Vel'Koz. Like,
Yeah,
Vel'Koz is a champion with such high range and such good wave clear that I don't think you have that luxury. Versus a champion that has weak wave clear, then I think this strategy does work. But I don't think this works. I want to quickly talk about a few things here. Because your early lane on as Azir is very important in terms of like how the game plays out. Now, at level 1, nearly every single matchup, unless I lose level 1, I like to have a
yeah,
soldier out here. When I first good Azirs in high elo, they always have a really aggressive soldier.
okay,
Because they want to make it really awkward for me to because if I walk up here and put a soldier all the way up here, sometimes they won't let you do that because they'll already be in lane and like bully you off. But if they let you
yeah,
do that and put a soldier up here by the range creeps, you can auto attack all of them, and more importantly, it's gonna make this person have to like stand like really far away, and it's gonna make it hard for them to thin the wave.
okay,
What this is gonna do versus a lot of these mages, whether it's Victor, Vel'Koz, any of them, Zereth, any of them, even Ori, they're going to be forced to use abilities on the wave, which means it's going to distract attention away from you. Yes, slow pushing is good, but at the end of the day, my priority is to direct attention away from me and just push. I don't
okay,
want you to overcomplicate it. Like, but at the end of the day, just pushing is better. And I feel like versus any high wave clear champion, you don't want to be doing slow pushes. The only situation you do this, what you're doing now, is if you're versing a champion that you're scared to push into. So maybe Syndra or like um, maybe Fizz, where you want to kind of keep the wave in the middle or something like
Yeah,
that.
I did that in my next game. I was against Fizz, and their jungler was Elise, and our jungler was Evelyn.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of scared in the early game, and I kept the wave in the middle for a long time.
And it
I
was
don't.
did it work well?
We lost the game, but I did avoid the early ganks.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So I feel like this situation, you're kind of giving a free early lane to Vel'Koz here.
Okay.
Um, and it's just too easy for Vel'Koz to just CS here, and it also makes it harder. Oh, and another little thing here. Um, yeah, the slow push where you auto attack one minion so you can get them all. It's just it's just kind of hard. Now look at this, because right now you're not really slow pushing at all. He just used his ability on the wave,
No,
and now it's even.
yeah, I wanted to begin the slow
Yeah.
pushes with the second wave.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So right now I'm trying to even the wave
Mm.
and see
I just
if
think it would have been so much easier if you wanted to do the push if you just did it level 1, like here. And then that way
yeah.
you're going to proc the lethal tempo, you can get some nice autos off, and really start just getting yourself in a really good position. But I think this strategy, it makes it hard. You kind of just lose too much control over
Okay.
the lane.
Yeah, I record every game, so I can sort my games by matchup.
Okay.
So I'm beginning to compare my different games against the same champion to see
Oh, I like it.
what I did differently and when it worked
That's
or not.
really that's really nice. I think this other thing here as well on the second wave here, I don't like your soldier placement. You should always be looking to place your soldier as far up as possible, and be in position where you don't have to move the queue too far. Because look at this.
Yeah, my problem with that is that when you need to fall back,
Mm,
you lose control over your soldier
mm.
if you're
I don't
too
I don't
far
think you
away.
need to, because again, I think that if your soldier's up here, you can auto attack. You force Vel'Koz. You could probably get an auto attack because you're standing behind the minions. You can probably get one auto attack off onto the Vel'Koz to proc that lethal tempo and start
Yeah, and
like
push.
autoing down.
Okay. Yeah.
And you don't even need a Q. You just walk up and W in the middle, and you can still, if you choose not to Q, that's fine. You can just keep it in the middle, or at least over here to one side, a little bit more aggressively. That's going to allow you to get that lethal tempo proc and just auto down these minions. I just feel like doing these sorts of Qs like this.
Yeah, this is bad. I agree.
Yeah, it's very low. It's
Low value. Yeah.
low value, but it doesn't make sense with what you're trying to do. You know, are you all inning for the wave, or what are you trying to do here? Because it feels like if you wanted to play for the poke, you should have just put the soldiers more aggressively and done that way earlier.
Yeah.
Like, why now? You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't make
It's
sense.
not good.
And that's yeah. Because and in a lot of these matchups, the way and I know I'm going to go very deep in the early lane because I think it's important because, yeah, when I verse Azirs, it's super annoying because they walk up in my face behind these minions and I'm versing a skill shot champion. It's really annoying, and then they proc that lethal tempo, and then either I have to like walk around here that way to get my last hit, and then they move their Q after. But
Yeah.
now when
Okay.
you've just randomly moved your Q, it's so easy for them to avoid it.
Yeah.
Um, Now they can just walk around a CS like that. So yeah, it's just another little thing there. Okay. Okay, get a nice ward here onto the top side. Beautiful. Nice ward. Good timing as well. You could get an auto. Nice. You get the lethal tempo proc. Nice. Nice. Beautiful. I think this W could have been a bit better here. This one here. Could have been over here. to get all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Okay. Nice. Missing a bit of CS in this early laning
Yeah,
phase, but
I didn't really farm well in this game.
nice. Got the lethal tempo proc. Wait 1 sec. Just a little thing here as well. Just I still think you could be placing your soldiers a little bit better. I think this one over this a little bit more aggressively to create a little bit more space, but overall it's not too bad. I like how you're playing quite aggressively right now. It's quite nice. Ah, take the Q to the face.
Yeah, I did some really bad movements in this game. So I think the game is really average of what I can do. So
That's fine.
that's
We
why
can still
I choose it.
we'll still get value from this VOD. It's still good. Okay, so Nocturne's done like a 5 camp into resets. Did we know Mumu started bot side, right? Was that?
I think he did. I
I think
didn't
he's
take the information in the game,
okay.
but
Okay, there's a Mumu top side. Press tab, beautiful. He hasn't based yet, so he's just on a full clear. Nice.
I will actually get solo killed at some point.
Okay.
But I
So
don't remember when.
leaning onto bot side. Think this could again soldiers could be a little bit more aggressive, but okay, nice auto. That's much better. Like this whole thing, that's what I been wanting you to do. Walk up, get the aggressive W like that. Beautiful. You get the lethal tempo proc, auto down. Nice, really nice.
Yeah, the thing is, what bothers me every time I do this is that the minions are all attacking me.
Yeah. So what you should actually look to do, like you do there. So what you do is you get the auto, and then you go back. And if you kind of go this direction, like you line of sight the minions, they actually attack onto the they
Okay.
re-attack onto your minions. Like what you did there. It actually shifted aggro pretty quick. Nice
Okay, yeah.
dodge.
Because sometimes I will just get attacked a very long time by minions, and I don't
Okay.
manage to drop the
Yeah. So yeah, like
aggro.
how it works is like you get it if you get the aggro like that. If you walk like yeah, kind of like this way and line of sight the minions, they'll try and attack back onto the because if you walk this way, they'll actually just follow you a lot, or
Yeah.
like that way they'll follow you a lot. But if you go this way, they'll actually go group attack back with the minions. It's just a little
Okay.
thing there. Okay, so you get that in, beautiful. Probably stay.
Yeah. Since I don't need to buy double the runs, I probably want to reset for like 1,000 gold. Uh, when
Reset.
I when I play Halo Blades, I recall around 700, 800, so I can
Yeah.
buy double the run ward and
But you didn't want to go
everything.
double donuts this game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to back to recall at 1000 to buy the codex and the ward or something.
Okay. Nice dodge. Okay. You can probably assume that Amumu's based and gone back onto bot side, so
Ah, yeah.
I want to go all the way back here.
Yeah, I wanted to recall soon, so I used everything on the wave.
Hmm. Wait, you ward here. Hmm. Hmm. I think you can just auto him here. Right now. Just auto him instead. Go on him. Put your soldier down. Go on him. Because look, the way I see it here, this is one of those situations where I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this, but it's very rare that you can just kind of say you can just attack the minions in front of them like this. You just got to attack back, and you generate. So like your defense is your offense. Again, there's no minion advantage. The wave's in a pretty average spot. You can't really afford to just hit the minions in front of Vel'Koz in this situation
Yeah,
because
okay.
the minions aren't big enough for Vel'Koz to ignore you. The only reason you've been able to do this in the past waves is because this wave's been so big that Vel'Koz has been able to you've had the defense from the minions. Now, in this situation, when you've got the wave in here, I think this is the first problem. Because the wave didn't crash fully here.
Yeah.
I think instead of hitting the wave under the tower, you let it come out a little bit here.
Okay.
Oh, oh this is so awkward. Because it's like half crashing, half not.
Yeah, I do this pretty often actually.
Okay, so in this situation here, I actually won't hit these minions. So Vel'Koz has been a nice person and actually didn't actually rush down those minions. The reason being is that this is actually going to come out very soon.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to come out very soon. Once this wave starts coming out, then you can start to thin it out and do it again. It's hard for you to, because if you start using your abilities here, you just make yourself very vulnerable, and because the minions are big enough, he can kill you. The other thing as well is if you use your mana and your resources on these creeps here, the next wave is coming anyway. You're not going to have enough time to go back and recall.
Yeah.
So it's like either you had to recall here, like you had to recall here, right now, and not use TP. Because if you had recalled here, you wouldn't even have to use TP.
Yeah.
You could probably just walk back, and you might miss maybe one or two creeps, but overall it wouldn't be too bad. If you want to stay, you have to wait for the wave to come out a little bit more and then push, because otherwise, like I said, the minion wave's not big enough and then it gets really awkward. So this trade here specifically could have been much worse, but I think you just could have punished Vel'Koz more here. Right now, he just used the W and his
Yeah.
E or whatever. He has no
Yeah.
abilities. You just use your W here, auto, and then you can actually queue him on the back end. He would be so low.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
actually what I noticed when I said that I was first focusing on trading,
Mm,
and then I went to focus on map awareness. The trading. This is exactly the things that I noticed when facing players. They use abilities very randomly,
yeah.
and I used to abuse that, but I
Mm.
didn't.
But you're so focused on like other things that you're not punishing.
Yeah.
That you're like kind of thinking about itemization. You're thinking about basing. You're thinking about all that stuff. Like you're thinking about
Yeah.
too much. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I won't go read too deep into it because that's like that's an interesting problem to have because usually it's the other way around. Usually players just do something that's random and it doesn't make any sense. But I think you're just overwhelming yourself right now. But I think this is really good though. I think what you do here, to kind of get this waving, given that's what you wanted to do. Yeah. Yeah, you just could have just backed off, I guess, and just recalled, but overextended a little bit. Okay. Come back. He plays flash. Very important to time that. Go
Yeah,
back.
I actually timed the flash in this game. I try to time the summoners a bit more than before, but I noticed that I will kind of tunnel on the so like when I type the timers, I won't look at the map, and
Mm.
it actually happened that my opponent, for example, roams, and I don't warn my bot lane because I'm typing, and then
Mm.
he gets the ball.
Okay, we can take a look at that as well. So here, you die. I think you have to TP, I guess, because the wave's kind of bad. You'll lose too much. Okay. Oh, I think the Q there on all this was very inefficient. Just use your use your W's here, like spread out more, so you can actually auto here.
Yeah,
Okay. Because you want to auto when you're wave clearing, you want to auto the creep that your creeps are ordering. You know what I mean? So you want to auto this one first because then it's gonna help. The minions after are gonna help. It's
yeah,
just
okay,
faster.
okay.
And because you do way more damage to cannons as well. Generally, you want to focus the cannon every time because minions don't do any. They don't really do much damage to cannons. Whereas you shred cannons. Okay, get your water to bot side. I like it, and then you lean, which is your winning side or the side that's not dying. Well, your top
Yeah,
lane
my
has
top
died a
side
few
was
times.
losing,
That's
so
good.
I played both side.
I like it. Now you're in a bit of a rough spot right now. This is actually probably now that this person got a 1300 gold recall and hasn't been punished, it's actually quite bad for you. This is worst case scenario. You've missed quite a bit of CS. They've got a pretty free laning phase. They didn't really have to use many of their potions. And on top of that, they got the 1300 gold and an extended laning phase.
Yeah,
This is, yeah, probably the worst case scenario because the way I like to think of lethal tempo is that you're going to be pushing so much that this Vel'Koz is going to have to miss CS under tower. Or they're going to be low trying to tank the wave to try and stop it from crashing. Like, you play the lane quite annoyingly. But that wasn't really the case in this early lane. And then conversely, you go Comet. If you went Comet, you would have a lot of poke and you'd be playing it quite fast. Or Halo Blades, you'd be having a lot more poke. Go for an early base, come back with TP, that sort of thing, playing it quite fast. This is probably the worst case scenario here. The only saving grace here is that you have he has no flash, Vel'Koz,
yeah,
which is massive. So you have to punish this. As soon as your Vel'Koz is in range, you go. I'd be spamming assist me ping mid. Like, I'd be saying like R, I'd be pinging my R, and I'll say come mid. I'll be saying like come mid here, assist me ping mid, and we can kill this Vel'Koz. Super,
yeah.
super
I
easy.
didn't do that, but my jungler came anyway.
Okay. Nice, he's here. Is it EQ? That was it.
I'm a bit late there, so I
You
have to
didn't even
flash.
have to flash. Yeah, you did not have to flash here.
I think he would have. I didn't want to go under the turret tower. Uh,
This is it right here. Look at that. Ready? As soon as about now, you can just
yeah,
zoom,
I was
and
late
then
in my
yeah. But
because now the soldier disappears, so I have to put another one.
the other thing as well is, yeah, like you're the one that should be looking to call it, not him. Like
Yeah,
he was actually really just understood your champion, so he knew how to go for that kill. But you're not going to get good junglers like that very often.
yeah,
Who really understand it. So much better. Like, nice. You're getting the cannon. Spending time getting the cannon here, ideally. Okay. Get the wave in. Get the wave. Okay, coming. I like it.
yeah. I missed the cannon.
Oh, you've missed so many cannons this game. Okay. Alright. You get that. Still, there's a lot of kill threat mid on your ult.
Yep.
It's
I
9:30
think
mid flash.
I think the jungler will come once more.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. Alright, your plate's mid, I guess. Plate's mid. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Yeah.
I will grid for the plate and die. This is not very beautiful to see.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is the kind of I kind of tilt easily at my own mistakes.
Hmm.
So I didn't tilt this game, but
Hmm.
this is the kind of thing that can pretty much
Okay.
annoy me.
Still not too bad. So it looks like he's on Rift. Okay. Ping here like that. You saw that he lent. A waste of a Q, but not too bad. Get rid. Okay, this Rift has to go mid this game. It's
Yeah.
your only way of winning this game. You have to break mid. Okay. Wait. Oh, you saw them in bot jungle. Okay. Wait, there they
Yeah, I
are.
saw Senna coming towards me.
Okay.
So I didn't really know where to lean.
Yeah. Just gotta wait for you two your jungles back on the map with the center bot. Okay. You can actually, yeah, hover. It's a bit of a waste of a ward.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the thought process behind this ward?
Defensively, I think. I didn't. I think since I saw Senna coming towards me, maybe I had
Okay.
the thought that she could
Mm,
roam, and I didn't want to get ganked.
okay. Again, just your W placement is so defensive. Like Velkoz's not even in the lane here. We don't even know where Velkoz is. Whenever you get an opportunity, you want to really push your limits in terms of your W usage.
Yeah.
Like look at how low value this one is here. It's literally after this dies, it's not gonna
Yeah.
do anything. This is so low value. Okay, getting a bit of aggression on, much better. Lean. Okay. Okay. Wait. Yeah. So I thought as well. I was like, what the hell? This guy's overextended.
Yeah, I
I would have
didn't
just went.
ping anything, but my jungler saw it.
Yep. Okay. Let's go mid. Go mid, go mid, go mid, go mid, go mid. You want to get this mid tower, man. Punish this for Vel'Koz for dying. Dude, this Nocturne's a beast.
Yeah, he actually won me the lane when I did play bad.
Nice, I like it here. You get tower. If you get the tower, it should be GG, honestly. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Recall for your Nash. You missed another cannon.
Yeah.
You missed a lot of gold this game, my man.
Yeah, missing cannons really is annoying.
We'll come back to that. I want to look at that later. Alright, so come back here. You got another pink. Why? What are you looking to build here? What's your thought process?
I think I hesitated to take Null Magic Mantle for Mercury's boots,
Mm-hmm.
but in the end I didn't. So I take this Amplifying Tome because
Yeah.
it's the base for every AP item, like either Morello or Liandry's or
Yeah. What's
even
your go-to build? What's your favorite build on Azir?
usually the Orb from Morello. If they have some healing, like they have Senna and
Yeah.
Darius, so I think Morello is a good choice. And then I will either take the large rod to get
Mm-hmm.
some AP and a defensive item. I don't really like getting Nafios, Morello, and defensive item because I feel like I have not enough damage, and the
Mm-hmm.
the large rod kind of helps with that.
Okay. I feel like this is such a good Banshees game as well, though.
Yeah, I hesitated, but in the end, I think I built
Hmm.
Zonia's.
Like this is for me. It's okay. I feel like this is a good Leandri's game, and I feel like it's a good Banshees game. I actually think this game I probably would have either sat on a null magic and either turned it straight into a Banshee's second item because you're versing a Moo and Vel'Koz and you have no defensives,
Yeah,
or Leandri's into Banshees or something like that, or even we'll see it depending on how the game state went. I really like Leandri's on Azir.
yeah, it's good.
It's a good item, and especially when you're versing Darius and a Moo with a lot of healing. Like I feel like you're gonna get a lot of value from Leandris this game, and especially with Lethal Tempo, it's a very good item. I don't know if center healing, like you could just get your 80 carry, or like this guy's gonna get Bramble Vest. You can get your 80 carry to get a Avarice Blade, whatever it is called. What's it called? As Avarice Blade?
Sorry.
The healing reduction item, the
Um,
sword, whatever the sword is called. Well, anyway, he
yeah,
can get
but
that
just
item. I
the
feel
mark.
like sitting on Orb at net right now, I'm just not a fan right now. I've actually gone off of Morello's and this item overall. I actually, the only situations where I build this item is when I am ahead
Yeah,
and they have no MR. But
yeah,
this is a game where you're not really ahead. Like you're doing okay, but you're not super snowballing right now.
yeah,
So I feel like this is very low value. Like you're gonna be in a massive power trough for a long time if you build this item or even sit on this item. And if you're sitting on this item when you're not like necessarily ahead and you're versing frontline, it's really low value.
yeah,
So I really don't like doing this, and I way prefer Leandris or even just straight into Banshees here for some defensive capability.
yeah,
Okay, so you come back mid TP here. I don't know about this TP, by the way. I think it's a waste.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
want to miss anything, but
you missed a bit of creeps, but the main problem with this okay, it depends on if you thought that you could use it, because the problem is here. Look at this. Your whole team was based.
yeah,
Even when you get the wave, there's nothing you can do. I mean, the best thing you can do here is actually just do Raptors, which I'm assuming you do here. What do you do here? What is this?
yeah. Yeah, I'm typing, so I'm not moving on the map.
Oh no. Okay. I don't want you to time jungle, by the way. I only want you to time mid. I feel like it's too much. Like there's already so much going through your mind
Okay.
and you're playing a very hard champion. I think you need to really focus on your champion, man. Like cuz the way I
Yeah.
see it here is like you're Azir. You need to farm, farm, farm. You've already
Yeah.
missed so much CS in the early game, which is a big problem and I think this is probably going to we'll go back over this because I think this is actually a huge thing for Azir. But
Yeah, I
um
missed. I don't usually miss so much CS. I mean, it depends on the games, but
yeah.
I usually have like 100 CS at 12 minutes.
Yeah. At 12 minutes?
12 for yeah. It
Yeah.
depends. I'm
Well,
more like when well, it depends on the games.
yeah.
Sometimes
Okay. Well,
I'm not able to farm. I don't really know why. Like this game, I missed a lot.
mm,
But
yeah, we could take a look at that, but I'll look at some of your other game scores in terms of CS scores. But it is something I can't really just look over because I think it's really big. And in this situation, it's like I want you to put like my favorite saying or my favorite mantra, my favorite um my favorite like fundamental philosophy on the game is always help yourself before you help others.
yeah,
Paul, always help you. So when I'm in this situation like this, all I'm thinking is like I want to farm, 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 farm. I want to go crazy, farm, farm, farm. There's no reason. Like even if you do want to do timers, get farm first and then do your timers. This is this
yeah.
is really too much.
Okay.
And right now, because you've done this whole thing, now you're in some like weird situation. Like, it's only because you're in this area you go for this roam. It's kind of weird. Like you wouldn't have been here, you know. It's just it's kind of weird. Anyway, because the downside of this situation is that Vel'Koz is on mid wave, and like you get the kill, which is awesome. But like that was so lucky, so lucky. And I feel like you gave Vel'Koz mid wave. Because my whole thought process, as soon as I get this mid wave, this mid tower, sorry, I'm thinking, beautiful. I can now ward one side very heavy. We can start getting dragons. I can actually get a lane ward as well. If this person, Vel'Koz, walks up too far in the lane, we have my ult, Nocturne ult. We can kill this Vel'Koz so easy.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to exert as much threat on this Vel'Koz as possible. Push him really far deep into the lane. Because it should be impossible for Vel'Koz to play the game at this point in time. So anyway, this happens. You go for this kill. Beautiful. Yeah, like I said, it should be impossible for him to play the game right now. Okay, the Nidus dies. Now you should get stacked dragons. This is where you should starting to really start snowballing the game out of control now. Push mid, stack dragons, take raptors on spawn if need be. Really push the pace of this game here. Beautiful. Lean onto your strong side. We need to be breaking this bot tower as well. Get this one. Go back mid. We need bot to break. So I would be shoving mid. Leaning. Nice. Okay. If you want to base, you can base. Okay. Guess it's okay because Nocturne doesn't have iron. Okay, and he's recalling, so not too bad. You come back. Get your blue buff. Rift
Yeah, I
Herald's
think I
coming up
wanted
soon, so I
to.
guess
Yeah.
this is good. I like it.
So I broke the plant so he couldn't escape.
I like it. This is a kill. Nice. Beautiful. Well played. Nocturne took the blue. Whatever. Go back mid.
Yeah, that I
I think this is still not terrible if you
yeah
dodge that.
I I flashed, but I looked at it yesterday, and in the game I didn't see that the bot lane was bot, so I think we could take the 2v2.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I thought this was not that bad.
Yeah, I got
yeah.
scared of Amemu.
You should be pinging Rift Herald right now, by the way. As soon as this kill happens here, you need to be thinking about pushing the pace of the game. Like you're gonna have pressure always. I would just be after that kill top. I would be pinging on this Rift Herald. Because Vel'Koz actually counters you later in the game, you know. Vel'Koz is actually a counter to Azir. It's always been a counter to Azir.
Yeah, I dislike playing against Vel'Koz.
Yep, so you want to ping for this. Rift Herald is really important. Uh, okay. Well, you're lucky they're wasting time and not doing Rift Herald right now. They should be doing Rift Herald right now.
Yeah, they actually try to dive me and I get a kill on Vel'Koz.
What are they doing? This is definitely like plat gold.
Yeah, yeah.
This is very low level of play right now. Because the thing is, it's so interesting. Is like these players like this Vel'Koz, like he's actually decent in lane. Like they know how to play their lane, but their understanding of the game is so low.
Yeah. So I
Like you don't
thought,
have.
yeah,
I was just gonna say like the thing with mid lane and this elo, Paul in platinum. I think from what I'm seeing right now, you're overcomplicating things, and I think you're playing very I feel like you're overwhelming yourself.
okay.
Like with the way you're talking about the game, like you're timing summoners, trying to do all this crazy stuff. I think you need to just bring it back a little bit. Like yes, timing mid flash is really good, but I want you to realize, okay, the way I view timers is like this. If you killed mid, right, with Nocturne early on, so you got this one
Yep.
kill, and then you blew the flash. Now, you can look at this flash as a chore and be like, you know, I got a time flash now. Like it's like when you know when you got home from school in high school and your parents told you, it's like, oh, Paul, you got to do your homework. You got to do your maths homework. You're like, oh, fine, whatever. Like you do it, but you don't do it because you want to do it. You do it because you're forced to do it. You know.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas with flash timers, you can look at it two ways. You can look at it in the sense that you are forced to do it, and it's like a chore. And it's like, oh, fine, I'm gonna have to time it. I want to do it. That's what Curtis told me to do. Or you can look at it as like, wait, I got a lead. I can get a lead now. My champion can kill anyone with ult, especially in mobile champions with no R. There's a lot of kill threat there. It's only natural if I want to get ahead in this lane, I want to get this kill.
Yeah,
You know, so
that's.
it's like at
I noticed
sorry.
that actually that I take information. I try to take as much information as I can, but I don't do anything about.
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
don't use it.
Yeah,
You don't
totally.
use it. It's just like information for the sake of information.
Yeah,
It's like if someone gave you the formula, all these formulas, but you don't actually know how to use the formulas. It's like, what's the point? It's like if someone gave you this, like, you know, you go into a maths exam and they gave you all the formulas, right? Or they told you how to do they gave you the answers, but you don't know how to actually get to the answer. It's like the same thing. So that's what I'm seeing so far, because it's like you seem to understand things why in the VOD review, but when you're in the game, you're thinking about too many things, so it's not helping you win the game. Because at the end of the day, all you gotta do is you just gotta win the game. You don't need to look good. You don't need to sound smart. At the end of the day, you gotta just win the game. That's it. And you already had the lead. It's really simple. Anyway, and that's the way I like to view this Rift Herald call as well. By the way, it's like this. It's like, okay, well, what do we see? I've got a massive lead mid. We've already got this tower. I have pushed 24/7. We've just killed the Darius. Rift Herald's coming up in 30 seconds. If we get this Rift Herald in 30 seconds, wherever we go, we're going to be able to get a tower. Again, we just want to push the pace of the game. It's only natural
yeah.
to want to get it. You don't need to overcomplicate it. But anyway, this happens. You get this kill. They mess up the dive. You come back. This is the build that I really don't like this game. Yes, the healing's good, but healing reduction's good, but I don't think. I mean, it's just so much easier for other lanes to get it. I feel like other lanes getting it would just be much better. Okay, here, where are we going here? What are we doing?
Yeah,
And again, you're thinking about timers and stuff. Like, I don't know
I
what's going
think
on
I
here.
kind of let Herald go. I wanted to play 4 Drakes,
Okay.
so I went bot. So I'm answering. I think the ADC asked how to time the summoners.
Ah, screw these people, man. You gotta focus. You what? Look, all this time you're doing all this stuff. Like look at this whole time here. This whole time when you're dead, I don't care about anything. You should be thinking, how am I gonna win this game? That's the question you're answering. Okay, the only question. How are you gonna win this game? I don't care if you're being nice to people. I don't care if you timing. How are you gonna win this game? You should be pressing tab and pressing, okay, what's the next objective? What are the timers? What are the lane assignments?
Yeah.
Oh, and like, you'll know, dragons are coming out for a while. You can come straight out of base here, go mid-wave, and get this Rift Herald before dragon even comes up. And now that, by the way, if bot lane are or just getting this wave and just basing, you should go mid first, catch this wave, then go to a side lane.
Yeah.
You shouldn't let this wave, because someone's going to go get that wave and lose the farm anyway. Because like right now, right, what do we see? Vel'Koz's really far behind, dead. Dragon is so far away. It's 2 minutes away. It's 1 minute 50 away. You've got plenty of time to do this Rift Herald. What does support flash even mean? It's not like that's going to change how you play these fights. You can't tell me you're going to, you know, it's not. Yes, it's nice to time it as you get very comfortable with the game, because it's going to help everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not just you. I love it. But I think it's just taking too much away from... it's just taking too much away from your brain. Because I feel like you're a smart guy, man, Paul. I feel like you're a really smart guy, and you have a good understanding of the game. But there's just too much going on in there.
Yeah.
Like, look at this, man. And now look, you would have been, and then no one's on mid, and Vel'Koz's getting that top wave. No one's getting that mid wave. Sorry. Now you're bot. Darius is 1v9ing. And you're all the way on the other side of the map right now when there's no objective. There's nothing to do here.
Yeah.
This is really, really, really big. And you might even lose mid tower here. And you lose mid tower.
Yeah.
Holy moly. So big, man. Do you see what I mean, though? Why you should actually go mid first here, though?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
They could push from that wave. I
Yeah,
actually
'cause,
wanted
like-
the bot lane to go mid straight after they
Wait, you
recalled.
want to go there to there?
No, they recalled and then they go mid, but
Yeah,
the fact that I
but
didn't,
even if they do that,
totally,
let's say they get this tower and recall, they're still going to be too late because
Yeah.
someone's going to be there first. Like it's you should always get this wave first and then go, because
Yeah.
even when you go here, there's nothing to get. They've already got the wave. You know, it's too far away. Like, yeah, you can get Krugs on the way through, but still, like, it's better to get always mid, because mid push is so important always.
Yeah.
Because mid push is what if you get this wave in, even if they, like, you match it or whatever in the middle, at least it makes them scared to go into river. Because mid push means they get to go into river and they get control. And you know, this tower is so important. Like, I put my life on that tower. This tower is what will stall the game every single time. Because that's why I said it's GG once this tower dies, because now you get so much control. And this allows you to break side lanes. But if this tower's gone, they can't break. It's so hard for them to snowball the game. But this is really, really big here. You're on the other side. Your team's on the top side here. Lose mid tower. And if you're going into the side lane like this, like if you're committing to the side, and your team's top side, there's nothing to do. You might as well just get like Krugs as well. Like if you're gonna do this, all in on it. Like all in on and just go farm, go crazy farm. Like if you're gonna do this solo carry stuff. So you come mid, catch this wave, and then I'm assuming they get Rift Herald here. Nocturne gets a pick in the side lane. You get the dragon. You should pull the dragon out here. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, not too bad. Oh,
I missed.
bad luck. Okay, this is a game, and the other thing as well, by the way, if you had gone mid, broke that tower, got Rift out, and broke top after that, say you went top, and then your AD carry and support went mid, or even you went mid, and then your AD carry and support went top, because that is also viable, by the way. You could have also just stayed mid, and your Kai'Sa and AD carry, your support and AD carry go mid top, because you're a champion that is a good mid champion. Like any high range mage is good to stay in mid lane as long as possible. Like Victor, Vel'Koz, Xerath, Azir, they love staying in mid as long as possible. And because you've already got this tower, you have a lot more freedom. So you could have actually stayed mid, your AD carrying support could have went top, and then you could have got the pressure with your Nocturne because you exert so much threat anyway, and you actually destroy their bot lane 1v2 because you're quite strong anyway. Lucian's very far behind. So you could have gotten pressure and maintained that pressure even if you were mid. But if you're behind, then it's probably better for you to go or like even, and the bot lane's kind of strong. Then it's better for you to go top side because then your AD carry and support can like match and get pressure and move into River and hover you.
Yep.
But anyway, what I'm trying to say here is, if that happens in this correct lane assignments, you get the Rift Herald and you break top eventually. Or even if you get this Rift Herald, you get this, and then you go back top, use the Rift top, break this. What's going to happen? As soon as it gets 20 minutes, you're going to be able to move your vision. You can actually rush this, by the way. Azir's a champion that can just rush Baron.
I try to do it a bit more. I wanted to help the Shen, but I got body blocked by minions.
It's fine. It's okay. Okay. At least you're in the better lane assignment now.
Yeah, I wanted my bot lane to go mid. I told them to go mid, but they will come top with me at some point.
You should just tell them stay mid. They should listen. You should get all these camps here. I would have got Gromp there as well. If you had farmed well this game and not skipped over camps, like you missed a Raptor camp, there was a Krug camp, like all these camps, like you could have been really farmed. Like you're already pretty farmed, but you could have been really, really farmed. Oh, you got the Gromp, which is good, but you could have been really farmed.
Yeah. And I missed a lot of lane creeps as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Play topside. Nice. Oh, don't tell me they're not going to get mid wave. No.
No, they come top.
Okay, I like these comms. These are good. I don't know what they're doing. Oh my god. What is this guy doing, man?
So in the end, we get the top tower, and Shen gets the mid wave. So
okay,
I think
it's
it's
not
fine.
terrible. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't think it's optimal, but okay. Ooh.
I think we just get away.
Yeah, you need you guys to push me so you spend this gold.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, I think I have a very weird recall timers in mid game. Like I feel like I'm always off timing with my team.
Yeah, okay. This base was like, it's not too bad if you just ping them back here. I feel like it's fine, like you do, because I think this item's really big. You've got a lot of gold. I think that's not too bad. Okay, I like how you're coming here. Nice, Baron's the next objective. I say top bot, go mid, Shen bot. Yeah, I like it. Beautiful.
I wanted to go through the wall, but failed.
Alright, back out. You can't do this. Nocturne's dead.
So I thought that my E was on CD, so I couldn't retreat. And then I get caught and die.
Okay. Wait, I swear this is a play here.
Yeah.
Right there. Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
You have flash and stopwatch here. This is free.
Yeah.
What the hell? Look at this Vel'Koz. He just auto attacked away. Look at this Vel'Koz. No way. He actually walked up and auto attacked the tower. What a psycho. Okay. Yeah, you just got a group now. This is where front to back team fights. And this is the thing with your build. Like Morello's is so underwhelming here. I mean, it's okay, but okay, nice, 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 beautiful, beautiful, man. Good micro.
So
That's
I
not what you
just
want.
want to zone them out while my team does Drake, but
Okay, that's flash. It's pretty big. Wasted ult as well. Okay, you need a recall probably. Yep, beautiful. Bit of a strange. Okay, it's a bit of a strange build path.
yeah, that's what I said in the
Yeah.
at the beginning. I get my two first items, then I get a large road, and then my defensive. So I'm going for Zonia's because I bought my stopwatch.
Okay, so there's no need for you to be here. Like, you got to group with the team and just let Shen get this. You got to group mid right now. The way it works in mid game is that you go mid with the team and you want to walk in here. You don't want to come in from all these different angles.
Yeah.
Always come in from mid. Let your Shen just clear this. He's got ult anyway. It's completely fine. He can sit there as long as he wants and get this wave. If you come in together from this way, it's going to be much easier. It's so much harder for you guys to walk in and these little choke points here. And what happens if you push in mid first? Then, if they like hesitate, then you get this wave all goes all the way to tier 2, and they're forced to go all the way back here to catch it, which can sometimes give you plenty of vision control. So it's always mid wave first. This is a terrible position for Azir right now. See, and notice how your team's trying to push mid and get control, and now you're not there. You're not going to be there for the fight. Even if you have TP, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So what Nocturne's trying to do is the right play. He's trying to push out mid really deep. And Shen should be matching here and just catching these. You see that? How Shen should just be here? You're just denying Shen farm, essentially.
Okay, yeah, in my thought process, I was thinking that since we should play for Baron, Shen should be bot because he has his ult.
Right. Yeah, no, I think you guys need a group. You can't 1-3-1. Because if you 1-3-1, you're never going to get the team fight.
Yeah.
Because you're Azir. If you're playing a champion that can split push and like come in from the flank, I think 1-3-1's fine. But I don't think you guys need the front to back team fight. You're never going to get that if you've 1-3-1. Yeah. This whole time, you could have just been bullying them at mid, in my opinion. If you had just been mid. You still got stopwatch and flash. You still need to go mid and push it out deep. Okay. Going for the rush. Nocturne has ult so he can stop. Nice. Oh.
Yeah, that was not.
Okay. Well, I was lucky. Flash. Oh. Okay, you're all good. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Alright. Alright. Okay. Push mid. Just group mid, please. 4-1. Yeah, you having no MR is, I think, really scary.
Yeah.
I think this is such a good Banshees game. I mean, even just Mercs and then just Zhonya's if you need, but I think if you have Mercs, you're fine. I think if you have Banshees, you don't even need Zhonya's, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that Zhonya's is good when you need to engage, but I didn't engage any time in this game, so.
I don't think you need to engage when you have Nocturne. I think this is a game where you just play front to back really well. Because the way I see it, like in Champ Select, you're versing all linear, like Amumu. You're versing Amumu and Darius.
Yeah.
And Lucian and Senna. Yeah, like, if you think about it, like, you need to shred front to back team fights. This is not a front to back team fight build at all.
Yeah.
Leandri's would have been amazing, and Banshees would have allowed you to soak up that initial poke from Vel'Koz or that initial engage. That's all you need because they're linear.
Yeah.
If they had dive threat, then I think Zhonya's is fine. Or if you needed to be the sole form of engage, but I don't think you're going to be engaging on that team very often. And if you're going to engage, the fight's going to be so fast that you probably don't need it, and you only need to engage in the early game to set up picks on Vel'Koz.
Yeah.
I think outside of that, it's not really necessary.
Yeah, I actually
Nice
didn't engage
controlling.
because I was scared of Amumu and Darius. Because if I go in against Darius and use my ult,
Yeah, I
losing
know what you mean.
aim.
It's just you're screwed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. This is so rough. It's just like, again, I think this is just one of those things where it's like, just such poor positioning. Like, as soon as I see them split like this, I just like to engage on the one. You probably could have even just gone in here potentially, because you saw them on top side split, and just go on the one. Maybe. I mean, it's kind of average because you're going on the movement, pushing him to your team,
Yeah,
which is
I
bad.
don't really like getting
But
Amumu a
it's
free
like
engage.
the whole team's position is just so poor right now. Like, we have Kaiser's like one side, you're on one side, you're not behind your front line. I just think this positioning is just so hard for you
Yeah,
because you're just not behind your Shen here at all. Like, you're on the open, and they're onto your front line. You're not behind anyone. You're just not behind front line essentially.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know where should I be then.
Well, in this fight,
Yeah,
you should be, in my opinion. Okay, this was good. And then when you see a Mumu here, you got to make a choice. Are you gonna play the fight this way, or are you gonna play the fight that way? You can't be in the middle at all costs because
okay.
again, you need to be on one side. You're either zoning completely on this side and committing to the fight that way, or you're going down here and playing the front to back. This says to me that you were going to look for a potential engage, not play for dragon. Because if you're going to play for dragon, you want it to be you got to be down here. Because if you go up here, you're going to split from your team either way. Like, either way, this is not good for Azir unless you're on the front foot. Because think about it, if they come in here or they come in here, like, you're split.
Yeah,
Everyone's split. You got people here, people here. Like, everyone's split right now. You're literally a split team. So the way I like to view it as Azir is you always got to put yourself in a position where you're either A, putting yourself in a position to control chokes and then look for the engage, like you're the sole, and your team's around you, and you know they're coming in from one linear way. Or if you know they're coming in, if you don't know that and they could come in from two angles, or you see them split, then you either have to be behind your front line and play like pull the dragon here and just soldier this way, and then no one can get back onto you here.
yeah,
I mean, there could be a blast cone potentially, but still it's somewhat linear, like it's in this area somewhat. But if you got people there and then people here, it's literally, this is worst case scenario for Azir right now, because you can't put your soldiers everywhere.
yeah,
You can't DPS. You can only DPS two people. Because look at this. Now you're like, oh, what do I do? Do I put my soldiers here? Do I put my soldiers here? What do I do? And this is just worst case. And you're getting hit by the dragon. This is the worst case scenario. So in the future, you just got to be very, very strict with your positioning. And if I'm Oriana, I don't want this either. If I'm Victor, I don't really want this either. As soon as I get that poke down, I'm thinking, and I see a Mimi here, I'm like, holy moly, I either need to literally go fully this way and just continue to poke and like zone them off, or fully commit. I'm just WEing this way and fully committing to getting out of this area.
yeah,
You just made yourself too vulnerable here. And this is actually massive, and this is why Zia is such a hard champion, because he's so unforgiving. If you make a positional error, you just get punished so easily.
yeah.
And then you gotta come back. gonna be hard. You just gotta group mid here, and again take the front to back fight. You can't get split on. You can't get picked.
Yeah, I wanted to get top wave, but in the end, I think I recall.
Mm.
Yeah, this is really bad. I think this is the kind of mistake I do really regularly. Like I want to get side for no reason.
Okay. Again, there's no need. Like if you sit in front of your team right now, they can't do anything. Like they can't get this tower. But now you're so low, they can just bully you off. Okay, you get the heals luckily. Nice. What happens here? Yeah, I don't know why you're sitting to the side so much. Yeah, there's no like this whole time. Why are you here and not here?
Yeah.
You know, like it's so I don't know why. Interesting. I think there were some core decisions in mid game that you could have made to easily snowball this game,
Yeah.
but I mean, honestly, there's actually a few different things. I actually don't think it's a clear one thing you need to improve. I think there's actually a bunch of little things, but I think the first thing when I look at your gameplay, like you said, I think you're overcomplicating things. I think you're overwhelming yourself, and I think there's too much going on in your brain. And I think if you purely focused on winning your lane and only things to do with your lane for now, and then pick one thing to focus on next, like one thing. So, for example, like your other lane was fine. I mean, okay, you missed a lot of CS,
Yeah.
which I think, and you know why I think you actually missed CS? Is I actually think you miss CS because you're overcomplicating things as well. I actually think you overwhelm yourself because. You know why I saw this say this is because look at this first wave. Here. Look at this very first wave. Watch this. Look what happens here. Because you're trying to do this perfect strategy, where you're like the perfect amount of minions and things like that.
Yeah.
You already missed 2 waves on the first 2 creeps, on the first 3 creeps there.
Yeah.
And it's because you're trying to overcomplicate things. You're trying to make things too perfect. You're trying to like focus on the wave too much. You're trying to like, no, I don't want this perfect like slow push. No, like you're just not like, yeah, like that is something that you might be able to do. But as you get higher elo, you'll find the players won't allow you to do your strategy cleanly. Now you're like, oh, now I'm like, oh, my strategy, what I got to do? You missed another CS. Like it's only been what, like 2 waves, and you've already missed
Yeah, I
3
think
CS.
I missed 4 CS in the first 2 waves.
4. Yeah. So I think your idea is okay, but I just think that you're tunneling too hard on it, and you're trying to do things too perfectly. It's like at the end of the day, you got to push. That's all. When I'm thinking these matchups, I'm thinking pushing. You know, the higher elo you get, the harder it is to have a perfect strategy. It's like I just want to push. I'm just going to find a way to do it. I just need to auto attack more than them, focus on my CS, proc my lethal tempo, position my soldiers as aggressively as possible so I can get the poke down, that sort of thing. If he gets in my face, I will poke him, that sort of thing. This was a little bit tricky here because you actually get that lethal tempo proc off here, and then you got to back off a little bit because you're taking all that minion aggro.
Yeah.
So you should actually go here behind. You should actually walk this way to try and get rid of this minion aggro here. Just like little things like that. And as well, I think you were kind of focusing too much on having that perfect amount of gold as well, and that's what allowed you to tunnel on these creeps as well. Because I think in these situations, remember we were saying how like it doesn't make sense, but the only reason you're doing this is because again, I think if you, like you said, if you just approach this in a really simple way, because this guy's not thinking. All he's seeing is I see person, I go, but it's actually working.
Yeah.
But you're trying to, I want the perfect amount of gold, I want to reset perfectly, all this sort of thing. You're just not going to be able to. League of Legends is too chaotic to do that. Like, you need to relax a little bit more and just adapt to the situation. Like, you got to be like Bruce Lee, man. Like, you have to be like water. You have to be very flexible and adaptable. Because that's why I like to think about it in terms of champion identity, right? It's like, the only real plan you can do is the first two waves. You can have a pretty good idea about how you want to play the first two waves out. And even maybe the third, like, you can bounce the wave, that sort of thing. But as soon as it gets past here, like you're level 4, level 5, that sort of thing, there is too many variables. Jungle tracking, what the junglers are doing, what the path is, how this person's choosing to trade, how many, things get too complicated. But what's interesting though is if you really understand your champion, is all you know is, okay, I do want to ideally base on 1,000 gold, around 1,000 gold, so I can at least get my Fiendish Codex or this item. I'm happy to base on 1,100. I'm happy to base on 1,200 if I have to. Or I'm happy to, if I can base on like, even 950 is not terrible, or 975, it's not terrible. Like, if I have to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I think right now, like, you're tunneling too hard and not adapting to the situation. Because what are you seeing here? Vel'Koz as well wasn't really taking the best trades. You would have taken a lot better trade early game. That just over there as well. You don't need to rush. You've still got teleport. Worst case scenario here, you can actually just relax a little bit more. Play for this wave, just relax. Wait for the next wave being a cannon wave and just hard push that one and then go. Because here, if you had actually been standing behind the minions here and actually just traded onto Vel'Koz instead of playing defensively, you could have just won the trade and Vel'Koz wouldn't have been able to kill you here. But it's because you're tunneling too hard on the minions and trying to do these things perfectly and have the perfect amount of gold, that sort of thing. You're not paying attention to the laning phase. So the way it works is, I think here, at a very simple level is, because I think you know how to take good trades. When I look at this, when I see this mistake, I don't see this as like, oh yeah, Paul just doesn't know how to he just doesn't know his limits, or he doesn't know how to take good trades. That's not what I see at all. What I see is a mental problem.
Yeah.
Because I think you understand Azir's trading patterns and things really well. Okay?
Yeah.
When I look at your gameplay, I think you actually understand Azir's identity really well. I think you understand everything about Azir really well in the early lane. And I think if you only directed your attention on the laning phase, the trading, you would have taken way better trades. And you probably would have CS better. Which makes it so fascinating, right? Because it's like, well, what's going on? And is that the way you feel as well? Like, you feel like if you actually focus on the lane,
Yeah.
the laning's not the problem, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. But then I actually think that the people I face, everyone has a different level. So sometimes I get a hard lane, and then the next game, even if it's the same champions or whatever, the guy in front of me won't know what he's doing, and then I'll just crush him. And
Okay. So it's not perfect. Like, your laning's not perfect, but I'm not saying your laning's perfect, but I just think that if you were to review your laning, you would know what was going wrong.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you don't need me here to tell you what going. Like, all the things that I pointed out with your trading, I feel like you somewhat knew, right?
Yep.
With the W placement, proccing your lethal tempo, putting your Ws more aggressively a little bit, auto attacking the wave a little bit more, that sort of thing, like positioning behind the creeps, like that stuff is like, I think you know that, and you would have found that out if you reviewed your VODs. I think your problem, like you said, is less about the specifics of the trading, although that is something that you could, maybe I'm wrong, maybe that wasn't something you're aware of, but I think that you were somewhat. I think that your main problem is you're just thinking about too much and playing in this very linear, this very like, this mindset where it's like, I have to do everything perfectly, or I have to like improve on all these things if I want to climb.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like diamond players who don't think about, who like are really, really, I've seen diamond players that like a diamond and they don't really think about too many of the macro game concepts. I think you just need to take things one at a time. What you're trying to do is you're playing at a platinum 4 level. You're trading. if you focus on it, might actually be plat 3 or plat 2, right? So you would actually climb. You should be able to climb. But then what's happening is you're trying to improve your jungle tracking, your map awareness, tempo, timers. You're trying to do all these things and like macro game calls, all these things at the same time. You're not just picking one thing and being like, you know what, that's actually just one thing I really want to improve on. Because what happens if you do this is that you're just going to be overwhelmed. And there's no way of going into the next game knowing what went wrong. Because,
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you know.
I somewhat agree, but I feel like since everything in the game works together, I think it's very hard to improve at one thing at a time, because then all the other elements of the game will
Right. Because they all join in together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They all do join in together. But, okay. I don't think that you pushing your lead is muscle memory.
No, I don't know how to.
Okay. So what the biggest problem I'm seeing in this game is that you get a lead, right? In this situation where Vel'Koz trades kills and here, and then Nocturne gets a kill here. Right now, your mindset and the only question you should be the only thing you should be thinking in your head right now is, how can I push this lead?
Yeah.
Okay? Literally at its simplest level, how can I dominate my opponent? Okay? How do I push my lead, or how can I dominate my opponent? This is the question you're answering. That's it. Nothing else. Okay?
Okay.
Now, what I think's happening is that this isn't what you're thinking. What you're thinking is, cool. Like, you know, awesome. You're thinking, and then in this situation, all right, cool. All right, I might look for a plate here. Good. You go for this thing. And then, like, this happens. Whatever, you miss your cannon, which I think is, you're doing that again. Missing that cannon is a result of not thinking of that question, because you want to be as farmed and as fed as possible. But anyway, that happens. You base. Now, with that question saying, how can I dominate my opponent as much as possible? All you should be looking at right now, thinking is, okay, which side am I going to lean to so I can play aggressively? Which side is my winning side, because I need a side to lean on to so I can actually take decent trades.
Yeah.
What's the timer of the mid flash? Because that's when I can kill him again. Ping my ultimate, because that's when I can kill again. Because I know I have a window, but my ultimate will be up before this flash, because that's a 9:45 or whatever it is. And or if I get pressure, what can I do with it? Because I want to push the pace of the game. I want to do something. If I can't, do I need to wait for Nocturne ultimate? Like, you should be thinking, these are things that aren't crazy. They're not out of context. It's all in relation to you getting ahead in this game. If you think about what information is important right now, support flash timer or what's happening in bot lane is somewhat important. Like, not in specifics, but are they winning? Yes or no? Like, that's basically all you need to know.
Okay.
Very roughly. Yes, or they're going even. That's fine as well. Cool. Next. What else is important? Well, Nocturne ult's pretty important, right? Because that is very important for gank setup. Mid-flash timer mid-flash is also very important, because that's going to help you set up kills. The side you need to lean onto is important, because if you don't have a side to lean onto, then you're going to have to give pressure in mid, and you're not going to be able to take aggressive trades and use your soldiers aggressively. This cooldown's important, and this cooldown's important, because these dictate directly your level of threat on the opponent, and the objectives are also important, because that is going to give you something to do if you do get a kill, or you've got pressure and you have nothing else to do. So notice how these aren't just all out of context. They mean something for you in this game.
Okay.
So does that kind of make sense? It's like, it's all for you.
Yeah.
No one else. So what happens when you come back into lane, this is beautiful. You get a nice little kill here. Nocturne comes mid. Next. So what are we thinking? What can we get? Mid wave, I'm thinking plate straight away, but then a Mumu shows up. So you can't get plates. That's fine. What can we get here?
We could do.
Oh, this is where we die here.
Yeah, exactly.
What else could we have done here? We could have got blue buff here. I think blue buff was actually up. We could have got raptors here if he wasn't going to give blue buff, if it wasn't up. We could have just actually quickly recalled for your Nash's Tooth here. Or you could have actually just kept walking up here bullying this guy. You could have actually maybe looked for lent out of vision to look for a roam, hover on one side. All these things. I don't know. As long as you're thinking in that thought process. But here, this is a bit unfortunate. You kind of get poked. I think this was fine, but you just got outplayed a bit here. That's fine. Whatever. Come back. Okay. Now, when you time this flash here, you time it. Okay. So, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, as I said, I take information, but I don't use it. So
Yeah.
I just remind people that Vel'Koz has no flash for.
Okay. So you do that. Whatever. Vel'Koz comes back. Now we gotta wait a little bit till your jungle comes back. But even oh, this is when Senna was missing, so you're kind of scared. And even like ward placement. I mean, yes, like you're saying that maybe you thought that Senna's going to be roaming, but if you think about it, it's like, is this ward going to help you set up a kill or push your lead? I don't think so, really, because Senna's not going to be missing forever. Senna has to go back mid soon anyway, and bot lane anyway. Like, I don't think it's kind of a waste. But anyway, you come back mid here. I think you could have, and even the littlest things here, telling of your mindset is like, if Vel'Koz isn't in the lane, you want to get the wave out as fast as possible so you can do something.
Yeah.
So
the thing is
it
with Azir, I know that if I scale, I will like I get ahead by scaling in a way because it scales really really well. So I'm like, okay, if I just farm and scale and stall the game, it's like a victory.
You just can't have that. You can't have that mindset on Azir. You just can't. That's, I actually realized that when I made my Azir video. I had to realize that Azir actually doesn't scale that well in solo queue. You know that. Azir actually does not scale well in solo queue. Unless you have a team that knows how to play around you.
Yeah.
If you notice, if you actually watch the best Azir players in solo queue, they don't play Azir like that way. They don't play Azir like the hardcore farm and scale. Like, yes, they are incredibly efficient with farm, and they will farm really well. But their mindset isn't just like farm, and then like defense.
Yeah.
Like they play it quite aggressive, and that's what I realized when I made my guide. It's like I lost a lot of games at the start because I had this mindset where I'm like, if I just farm and like I play really efficient and I don't die, I'm gonna be all good. It's actually not the case, because if you do that on a champion like Victor and Vel'Koz, it's actually easier to carry because their damage is much more reliable. But Azir needs to have people peeling to get the damage off.
Yeah.
And because your burst is actually quite low, you need sustained damage. Azir actually doesn't scale as well as you think you do. Like, you actually farm the entire game, and even in team fights in a front to back fight, that last fights, you weren't doing that. Like, you're doing okay, but you know what I mean? It wasn't like you're 1v9ing.
No. Yeah.
You just need your team. Because you need your team. That's why I don't think Azir is like, it's not an amazing solo queue champion, because you're so reliant on your teammates. So as a way to adapt, you have to have a more of aggressive mindset. You can't just take a back seat. So this is much better. Playing way more aggressive in the queues. Really good. Get a nice little kill here. I like it. Next. Get another kill here. I think you hesitated here a little bit. We get this kill as well. Next. And actually, that was a flash as well. This was really big. Flash. Beautiful. Next. Mid tower. Go, go, go. Mid tower. Beautiful. Now, I don't know. I actually can't believe you lose a game from here. So you recall. Get your key spike here. Next. Mid wave. This is where the game gets a little bit weird.
Yeah.
This is where you're thinking. So all you should be thinking right now is, what do we know? We got mid tower. Amazing. There's so much room. Vel'Koz can't do anything. All I'll be thinking is, oh, beautiful. I can move my vision deep. I can actually hover onto one side. We can get stack every objective. I can actually deny enemy raptors if maybe. I can actually move my vision way deeper on one side. I want to hover to one side, break a side. Ideally get next Rift-Tailed dragons on spawn. And if Vel'Koz overextends to this lane, I want to kill. Because we know he does no flash, and I'd be thinking, I'd be pinging Nocturne timer, and I'd be even just going mid, because as soon as Vel'Koz shows, I want to go for that kill.
Yeah.
Again, no flash, everything, like, so vulnerable. And this is where I think the game just breaks down. Because, like, you did pretty well in the early game. Like, you played well, like, you farmed okay, you did well in the skirmishes, your skirmishing's quite well. Like, your skirmishing's actually really good, I feel like, on Azir. And this is where it kind of goes downhill. It's like, in reality, timing your jungle flash is cool, but I don't think you're going to use that jungle flash for you anyway. And it's just taking away from you focusing on how to win the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, when I watch you play here, I don't think you're thinking about how you're going to win this game.
Yeah, it's because I feel like I don't really know how to win a game.
Do you kind of see it now?
Yeah, I think I have it's like you said, I have too much of a perfect plan. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
perfect plan, yeah.
I want to do some objectives in a
Yeah,
specific order, and when we don't,
right.
I'm like, oh my god, what do we do?
Right. So you get confused in a way. If your plan doesn't work, you're like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
Type thing. Okay. Yeah. So you get this kill, you get another kill, you go back mid, he dies again. You got a winning side, so go mid, get another dragon. Beautiful. Go back mid, nice. Yeah, choose to reset here. I think this is actually fine. I think it's okay, I guess. There's really not much you can do anyway, so I think it's okay. Since Nocturne had no ultimate anyway. Like, if Nocturne had ulti here, right?
Yeah.
I think it would be bad to base. Because you could just hover bot and potentially threaten bot and look for a dive or move into the enemy jungle. But because you guys have no ults, it's fine. You come back mid. Ideally, you should be pinging for that blue buff. You should be telling your team you want that blue buff. But you don't get it. You do this really nice play here. Get another kill. Beautiful. Come back mid. This is where things start to break down again. Just not calling for Rift-Tail.
Yeah. And I get scared in this skirmish.
Yeah. Well, if you see this situation though, it's like it's not good for you, I feel like. Yes, it's good for Nocturne, but you don't have ult. You can't engage this fight. Like, Nocturne has to be the one that engages this fight, in my opinion. Like, the way I see it right now is I'll just, like, push up mid and get... If he starts this... Remember, Azir's the type of champion. You want people to come to you.
Yeah.
As well. You want people to come to you. That's why I love objectives so much. Like, you want people to come to you. That's the biggest reason I love objectives. So you wave flash here, get the next mid wave, then this whole play happens, which is not terrible, but again, it could have been a lot better. You outplay the mid, whatever. And then this is where things get really weird. Because again, mid game. You need to be at objectives early. What's the next objective? The next objective is Rift-Herald.
I wanted to do Drake, so I was really early.
Tunnel vision. Yeah. So, and as well, like here, you're not thinking about farm as well. You go mid, you should be thinking about how can I get farm? Well, if they've already pushed our bot and are only now resetting, I should catch this mid wave. Then maybe if Dragon was up, then I go mid wave to this Krugs, then catch bot wave. Farm as much as I can, or I go mid, they go top, and we play mid to top here because mid tower's already gone, or they go mid, I go top, next objective, whatever. This is where you got to start thinking actively, like, I need to push and group with the team. I don't want to be in the side lane. I want to be with a team. I'm strong. Let's fight. Fight. That you spiked. You're fine. You've got 2 big items right now. And here's where things get weird, and then you lose mid tower. He gets a kill. And then what happens? How does this game get thrown? What happens this game? So this happens. Oh, then
yeah,
this.
This
Okay. Oh, this was pretty big as well. Hmm. Right. And the thing with Azir, what I found as well, like you're experiencing here, is like it's so little room for error. I actually found this when playing a lot of my Azir games. Is like it feels like if I make one or two mistakes, the game's out of my control. Like, do
Yeah,
you feel
yeah,
like that?
totally, totally. That's part of why I want to get my. That's why I try to play with lethal tempo because I felt like if I get
Yeah.
behind just a little bit, I'm late in my
Yeah.
items, and then
Yeah, it just feels so out of control.
yeah, I just feel like I'm
Like it's
useless, and I just wait for the game to
yeah.
either stall, and so I can get some more items, or just lose or win when my
Yeah.
team. Yeah, sometimes I
Yeah.
just watching my team winning, and I'm like, okay, well played.
Yeah. I actually felt like that as well when I played Azir. It was like the game a lot of games I won, I felt like, oh, cool, but my team just kinda like did well. But it feels like sometimes when one lane does bad, like I have to be playing perfectly. Because the thing with Azir, though, the way I see it, though, is what you did this game was really good. That's what you need to do every game. You need to set up those kills at level 6. You need to go, go, go. You need to get those Rift Tails. You need to break mid. That's the only way you can reliably win games I found on Azir. The way of playing defensive, like, so I like to push in the early game, get a really nice reset by playing aggressively, leaning to one side, push, 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 force them to miss CS on the tower, take solid trades with lethal tempo, aggressively use my soldiers. Once I can do this, I get a really solid base. At level 6, I start to set up a kill by either letting it, like pushing it, letting it slow push to me, and killing them.
Yeah,
Then after that, I start to like either, use that lead to either get, an objective on one side, control vision on one side, hover, and then, either hold my TP and TP to a fight on a side or whatever it is, and hopefully lean to get one side winning. And then my goal is when there's an objective, I want to go to that fight and then play the front to back fight. And if as soon as they're split, again, I'll look for an engage and then engage on one target.
yeah,
Once I've got like one objective or one of these objectives, I really try to break mid for Rift Herald, whatever it is, farm, farm, farm as efficiently as possible. And then I'm hoping that I can I itemize well enough and yeah, I farm well enough that I can kind of carry those team fights.
yeah.
But if I feel like if I don't either get the early kills off with at 6 or I don't like I don't do it if I don't do anything proactive with my ultimate, I feel like I just lose eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
The thing is, I think that I'm not really proactive because I know that if I fail, then I'm I'm behind, and then
yeah.
it gets worse.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, man, like that's the thing with Azir is like you can't be afraid to have you can't have that mindset. Like you got to be willing. If you see the play, you go for the play.
Yeah,
Like
I
yes, you're gonna lose a lot of games doing it at the start, but once you get in that habit, it's like screw it, man. Like man, that's the only way you're gonna learn.
I actually do some engage sometimes, but
Mm.
yeah, when it goes wrong, you're like, oh, I just threw the game by myself. And
Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Well, you know what's interesting though is like there were so many engage opportunities this game that you didn't call.
yeah, yeah. There's this problem that when you play Azir, it doesn't mean that your mates. Okay, you can actually surprise your enemies by making a good engage, but your mates will also your team will be surprised as
Yeah.
well. Then you go in, you make a perfect
Right.
engage, and your team is
Yeah.
like, what's he doing?
Hmm. You gotta like say on my way or whatever. Like you gotta
Yeah,
ping an event. Like here, this is a perfect example. So you're doing really well in the lane. You're taking some decent trades. I think not too bad. You dodged skill shots. Right now, you should be pinging. You know he has no flash. I'm saying assist me, assist me, assist me, and
yeah,
ult.
okay,
It should not be coming from your jungler. This is a perfect example in my opinion. It should not be coming from the jungler.
yeah,
Like this. Like the fact that he engages this is just weird. And the same thing is like here. The same thing is here in my opinion. You should be ping like your ultimate. Where was it? It was here, right?
yeah,
Was it here?
yeah. When No, maybe a bit earlier.
Was it earlier? Maybe it's
Yeah.
here. Yeah, like here. You should be pinging on my way. You should be pinging your R. Like, you just ping your R and just go, man. You gotta go. Like, this is the thing with this is like perfect ultimate right there.
Yeah. Today.
And like, the way I see it as well. And this is how I've kind of felt with Cassiopeia as well, and Victor and Vlad. All these champions is if you farm really well and you don't control the game and carry the game at this point, then there's no point in playing the champion. Because you're already not roaming and diving sides. You're not roaming and killing the enemy jungler. You're not solo killing your enemy. You're not doing any of that. So if you're not carrying now, then what's the point?
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. So you got to be willing to step up and do it and look for those plays and call those plays proactively. Otherwise, yeah, you're just going to not win games, essentially. So, this has been a bit of an interesting session because I don't think your problems are very standard. I think your problems are very unique, and I don't think it's because you not understand your champion. I think it is a little bit around your mindset, to be honest. Yeah. And to keep it quite concise, and to answer your question, because you know how you're saying, oh, like I feel like everything ties together, so it's hard for me to focus on one thing.
Yeah.
What I want for you. This is what I actually want from you. I've never really given. I've given this learning objective to one other person, but I think it's better. It's really suited for you. Every single game, I don't want you to think about your side. I don't want you to think about how can I get my side laners ahead, or how can I get my jungle ahead, or how can I win this game, or how can I play a perfect game, or play my waves perfectly, whatever it is. All I want you to answer every single time is, how am I going to get a lead in my lane? And how am I basically going to beat my opponent? So sometimes in some matchups, by beating your opponent is just getting a really solid base and taking good trades, getting a tempo recall, getting your key spikes, then looking for a play. Some other matchups, it'll be solo killing. Some other matchups, it will be minimizing and going down 5 CS in a really hard matchup. As long as you have that mindset, when you look at the VOD and you have that question, I want you to have a little sticky note. How can I dominate my opponent?
Yeah.
That should be the same, the one question you're asking yourself. And if you're coming out of base, and if you're coming to lane, so if you're thinking, okay, maybe you're in a matchup where you can't really do much, and you ask yourself, okay, Paul, how am I going to win this lane? You might say to yourself, you know what? I actually don't think I can win trades now. But then I'd say to myself then, okay, what do I need to win this game then? Do I need a certain item? Do I need a certain level? Do I need to play with my jungler to set up a kill? Do I need to just keep priority so my team can do something? How are you going to win the game, and how are you going to dominate your opponent? Like, that is the only question you're asking.
Okay.
And you should be, if he has no flash, you should be looking for kills. Is there a way to blow a flash? Is there a way to play better trades? Can I push more and get my more priority? Can I keep the wave on my side and set up a kill at 6? Can I, after I do get a kill, what can I do with it? Can I get tower plates? Can we get rift heralds? After when we broke in mid, and you should be the one. I want you to be the one calling for plays.
Yeah.
Pinging mid no flash, mid no. You don't even need to say the timer. Just say mid no flash, or you do the timer. You do the timer like this, and then say come mid, or like ping mid, like your flash and your R. Most junglers are gonna know what that means. And assist me mid, ping your R, boom, kill, same thing. And you're gonna get really good at identifying how you are able to play from ahead and how you're gonna get leads.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is the biggest reason, by the way, why you've been platinum. This makes so much sense why you've been platinum for so long. Because you're not going to level up. You're not going to level up playing like this. Like, I feel like your micro is really good. Your micro is not at a platform level. You are not a platinum 4 Azir player in terms of micro, mechanically.
Okay.
Straight up. Like, you have Azir micro that is easily mid diamond. Probably Diamond 3, Diamond 2. In terms of just Azir micro-wise. It's really good.
Okay.
But your mindset is like, You know that's the reason you're Platinum 4 and not Gold. The reason you're Platinum 4 is purely off mechanics. This is the reason you're Platinum 4. You're a mechanics player. And it's good. That's a good problem to have. That's a really good problem to have.
Okay. That's
So
that's funny because I don't think I'm that good mechanically. Like
I mean, looking at your plays, man, like some of your skirmishes was so clean, man. Like this one over here was played really, really nice. Like, there's not like the average platinum Azir player does not play skirmishes that well, and like you don't waste your Q. That's what I love about it as well. Even in a lot of these fights, you hold on to your Q when you need it. Like you actually have the fundamentals of Azir down pat really well. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a lack of understanding of Azir. I don't think it's a lack of mechanical. You're not playing the champ mechanically well. It's tying. It's that mindset. And I actually think you also have the knowledge of the game because it seems like you've watched a few of my videos as well.
yeah, I did watch a lot. I watched
Yeah. So
every mid fundamentals and
yeah. So I think you got really good knowledge, man. I think it's just tying it together a little bit better and fix up those builds a bit. I mean, when you do need to go Morellos, you can go Morellos. But this is a perfect example. Again, in a game like this, I'm not going Oblivion Orb at all. I'm 100% going Banshees this game,
yeah.
or Zonya's second item here, or Leandri's. Like I'm definitely not going Oblivion. You stop building Oblivion Orb now. I think it's just dead item, like especially on Azir. Yeah. This is only good, and remember, it's only good, like an 18-minute Oblivion Orb, like it's so late, like, yeah, not good. I think this change alone in your itemization is gonna make a big difference.
Okay.
Big time. But okay, so you got Gathering Storm. I know you guys scored some games. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
don't
about
remember exactly why.
I don't know about Gathering Storm.
Yeah, it's not necessary. I think that either the CDR or Scorch are better.
Yeah, I think it's either of these are better. So that's what I want you to do. Okay, that's what I want your only focus to be on. That question. And when you look at your VOD reviews, I want you to not just look at the game, think of the gameplay. I want you to put yourself in the game and think about your mindset. Okay?
Yeah.
Think about what were you trying to achieve in that game? What were you thinking about? I don't want to see you timing every role. Right? Because unless that's what you're actively thinking about. Unless you're like, oh, it's actually massive that they have no flash in the jungle because like then I can do something. Maybe it's like Malphite jungle or whatever
Yeah.
it is, you know. Maybe the flash is so important. Unless it's directly affecting what you're going to do next.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I want to see. So yeah, man, I think that's your biggest and what I want you to do, I want you to keep me updated.
Yep.
Keep me updated with how you progress. If you have any more questions, let me know. But I'm really interested to see how this helps with you. And if you have any questions about macro stuff, right, or decisions in the game, like maybe you're in a position where you weren't sure how to navigate it, you weren't sure what the lane assignment was, you weren't sure anything like that, take a screenshot, post a screenshot, just DM me a screenshot, and I'll give you my opinion. Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Cool. Well, yeah, this was a bit of a weird session, man, and I think I'm excited. I mean, I'm very interested to see how this pans out. So,
I know that some people
yeah.
on the Discord wanted easy video, so I hope
Yeah,
it helps them.
Yeah, for sure. This was, and I'm really impressed with your Azir mechanics. I think watch over this video, tie it together. I think there's a few things in the early game that you just need to tie up a bit, which I think will come with time. But I think I cover a little bit in this video, the early soldier positioning, pushing into those sorts of matchups. But overall, not too bad at all. And Q usage great, ultimate usage pretty solid. But just got to fix that mindset, man. Cool, Paul. And I'll talk to you soon and keep me updated. All right?
Yeah. Thanks for the session.
No problem at all. Hope you enjoyed it.
That was really good. Really interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I had fun as well. I think it was a good one. All right, cool. I'll see you around, man.
Bye.
Bye bye.